This is the Facebook ad strategy that you need to scale to 10K days and beyond. How do I know that? Because this is the exact strategy that I've used over and over again to scale multiple stores to 5 figures. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do it. What's poppin', people? It's your boy, the Beast of Ecom, and I am back with another video dropping nothing but you already know, value bombs. Let's face it, Facebook ads are forever changing, but it's important to have a proven framework and system in place that you know that works over and over again. I'm going to reveal to you the exact Facebook ad strategy that I've used in multiple dropshipping stores to scale them to 6 figures every single month. Before I show this to you, I am doing a $50 giveaway. To be in with a chance to win, all you got to do is make sure you're following the channel with the notification bell turned on. Make sure, of course, you like this video and drop a comment down below. I'm going to pick someone at random to send that to you. If you are new to the channel, make sure, of course, you do subscribe. I drop weekly videos showing you how you can make more money with your e-commerce and dropshipping stores. So let me share with you this Facebook ads strategy that you can use in 2022 in your Shopify and dropshipping stores. Okay, I'm going to give you the theory first and foremost, and then what I'm actually going to do is show you how you can set this exact thing up inside of your Facebook ads manager. Okay, so first and foremost, as you can see here, what we've got is a campaign here. Now, this is going to be a website conversion campaign, and that's really badly drawn, but there you can see we've got a website conversion campaign. These here, okay, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, essentially are all ad sets. Now, I personally like to do ABO, okay, when I'm testing out. Now, if you're wondering what ABO, what the difference is between ABO and CBO is, okay, with ABO, we do ad set budgets, which means essentially we set the budget at the ad set level. So these would all be, you know, $20 or $15, whatever you may want to go with. Whereas CBO, you set the budget at campaign level, okay? But when I'm doing this, essentially, when I'm testing, I always like to do ABO because it gives me a lot more control over cutting ad sets when they're not performing. I generally find that I like to use ABOs to test and then use CBOs to scale. So you can see here, I've got numbers here, right? And these here are ad sets. So these essentially would be interests. So for example, this could be, if we're targeting a dog product, this could be dogs, this would be some sort of dog breed, this could be dog food, and this could be, pets or something along those lines, right? And these would be exactly the same, right? Mirrored. So we would have, dogs here, dog food, can't remember what I said before, something along those lines, and then this would be pets. Now you may be wondering, why are we having the exact same adverts, the exact same interests across these essentially 8 ad sets? Well, what we do essentially, and what I like to do is I like to split these out into by countries. So essentially what we have here, okay, these would all be targeting ex-US, okay? And when I say ex-US, I mean essentially countries which aren't in the US. So, United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, Norway, Sweden, whatever it may be here. And then these would all be targeting the US. So if we have dog, cat, pet, rabbit, these would all be dog, cat, pet, rabbit as well, okay? But essentially they're all inside of the same campaign, right? But ultimately, 4 of them are being targeted to these countries, and then 4 of them will be targeting to these countries. And you may be wondering why even do that rather than put in all of them completely together. Well, the reason why I do this is because ultimately USA are generally going to have higher CPMs. Okay, these CPMs are going to be a lot higher than what you would find over here. And I've had many products that haven't worked out in the US, but we've been able to scale quite aggressively with just targeting ex-US countries, which is one of the reasons why I like to split things out this way, because I can ultimately cut these off if I need to, and then continue to run these ones and scale horizontally just using these countries. Okay. Now you may be wondering what these 2 are here. So ultimately, what I like to do is we like to have 2 creatives. Okay. And between these 2 creatives, essentially, these will be different in one variable. So when I say one variable, we will only change out. If we go here, we will change out essentially. So I just move this over here. And what we would change out here is we would change out one of the variables. So the variables that you can change with a creative would be obviously the video. Okay, so you can change the video if you want to. You can change the thumb. Okay. And ultimately, another thing that you can change is obviously the ad copy. There we go. Ad copy. Okay. Now, in order of rank, what's going to move the needle the most ideally is the thumbnail and the video. Okay, they're gonna make the at least from what I see. Okay, these generally move the needle rather than the ad copy. It's not to say that you shouldn't test this, but this is just one thing that you should bear in mind. So we'd only really change one video. So we'd only change one variable here, sorry. So for example, this video would be video 1 and have a thumbnail 1 and have ad copy 1. And this one here would be video 2 and have still thumbnail 1 and ad copy 1. So essentially we're only changing out one variable. Again, you can do this with any of those ones. So they could both have the same video, but different thumbnails. Or they could have the same video, same thumbnails, but different ad copies. And the reason why we only do this is just to, especially if you're rapidly testing dropshipping products, it just kind of gives you the least effort for maximum output, so that you can actually change. And then once we have a winner, then of course we can go off and do, you know, creative testing here. Okay, CT. But of course that's another video. And if you do want me to do a video on how I actually like to do creative testing, then let me know. Okay, but now let me actually show you how you can set this up in terms of you know, targeting, ad set budgets and all those kind of things, and then talk a little bit about scaling. So to set this up, we would go with campaign, and obviously we go with conversions. And obviously if we just want to name this, I'm just going to put in test, and C1 for creative one. Okay, continue. So now that we set up our campaign, we need to do some more setting up. So we've only got one ad set at the moment in time. Okay, and what I'm going to do is just name this ex-US interest one. Okay, obviously you would select your pixel here, and you want to optimize for purchase as well. You want to make sure that that is set up for purchase. And in terms of budget, generally most of the time I go with no less than $10. Most of the time it's $15 to $20 generally, so that we've got more spend. You of course would schedule this for the next day. You know, you can do it at 12 a.m. I personally like to set stuff at like 6 a.m. in the morning, so you get that morning rush. If you go down here, of course, you would exclude your 180-day purchases, which is generally what we like to go for. So we're not showing our new products to existing purchasers. We just like to exclude those out. You then, of course, put in your country. This is going to be an ex-US one anyway. So inside of here, you would put in, you know, Canada and all of those countries which are not the United States. Age, you would generally put in whatever age of the product you are targeting. Again, with genders, if you're targeting a product which is for females, naturally, obviously, select females. And then, obviously, if it's men, you go with men. Now, for the sake of this, I'm just going to put in cat. Okay. And I'm just going to put in cats here. Now, in terms of placements, the two placements that I either do is I either leave it on automatic, or I will go with manual placements, and I will take off these two here, and I would only go with just those two feeds. So I'll take off literally everything here, okay, all of these here, and only leave this one here and this one there. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to put it on automatic. Okay. After we've done this, that's pretty much it for this section here. Okay, and then we would obviously make sure that we would click on next. So this is where you put in your actual creative that people will see on Facebook when they're scrolling down, or on Instagram. Now, essentially here, this is where you would put in your video, your thumbnails, your ad copy, and those kind of things. You would build it here, the first creative. And once you've done that, really quickly, just to go on to duplicate. And then, of course, from there, you could duplicate it and name it, you know, creative 2. And then you would make those changes like I've mentioned previously earlier in the video. So what we have to do now is we want to target different interests, right? Like I've mentioned, to those ex-US countries. And by the way, I absolutely hate this feature of Facebook, this full width of this editor. It's absolutely awful in terms of the UI. So Facebook, if anyone at Facebook is watching this video, please do make those changes. But essentially what we want to do is we go back to here, and if we just click on duplicate, okay, let's say, for example, we want to do just those other 4 interests, okay, so that we have 4. Okay, obviously you'd put your pixel in here, and essentially what we would do here is we would change out, because all of it would be the exact same that we've already previously done. We would switch out the interests. So let's say, for example, we would put in, let's see what Facebook is suggesting us, cat food, and what we would do is we could take out that there, okay, and if we deselect this one here, and then put in, let's say, for example, kitten. And obviously, by the way, you would have to change the names on these as well. Okay, we can do that one after. Okay, and if we just deselect this one here, and this can be, let's say, cats protection. Okay, so we would ultimately go up there, and what we would do is we change this cats protection. This one was kitten, I believe. And this one was cat food. And for the sake of the video, cats. What you want to do now is if you go to this here, okay, you can see that we've got all of our ad sets for all of those ex-United countries here. And essentially what we would do is we would just duplicate again, right? And make a copy of all of those, and we would just then switch out the country, okay? So this would all be the same, exactly the same. And obviously we've got United Kingdom here. We would switch this out to United States. And of course we would make sure that this is out here. Like I mentioned, if you want to know how to exclude, you just literally exclude, create a custom audience and exclude it here, okay? So one thing actually you can do really quickly is you can just go find and replace. This is something that I like to keep nice and clean. Click on this here, save to draft. There we go. And also what we need to do as well, find and replace. There we go. US. So there we go. We've got 8 ad sets, 4 ad sets going to ex-United States countries. We've got another 4 going to US countries. So you finally got your testing campaign up and running and it's showing promise. How do you then actually scale your campaign? There are many different ways to scale, but what you would essentially do to start out with is, let's say for example, this was working here, cats and food were at a 3x ROAS or so. What we would then do is duplicate these ad sets and see if we can find similar interests like this, what Facebook is suggesting us. You know, we would cut the losers and keep the winners. And what we would essentially do is then just build out a group of interests here, whether they be USA or ex-USA, and we would stack them up essentially when we know that they're having positive results. And when it gets to the point whereby they're bringing in, you know, 8 sales, 5, 10 profitable sales, then we know that they have the potential to scale further. So what we could then do is then just take some of these ones here, you know, the top 3, duplicate them, put them into a new campaign, and this would be like a CBO campaign. So you could put like CBO, you know, scale, essentially, and then whatever the names of the interests are in there. Set the budget at $200 to $250, and you would see how that one would go. You could create lookalike audiences and add them in here. You could go broad, etc., and put them in here as well, and then scale further from there. Now, one major key that you want to do is you want to make sure that all of these C1s have the exact same ad ID and all of these C2s have the exact same ad ID as well, so that they all gain those social proof, okay? To do that, essentially, you can just click on one of them and click on preview, and then it's not showing me anything here because I've not built anything, but I'll pop it up on the screen what it would look like. You can click on share, I think it is on here, and what it will do is you can literally click on something that says Facebook post with comments. You would click on that and essentially it will take you to the URL of that actual advert, and there'll be a string of numbers at the end of the URL, and you would take those string of numbers and that would be your ad ID that you would then go ahead and inside of here, really quickly, if you just click on edit, instead of create ad, you would click on use existing post, okay? And then you, of course, you would enter in that post of ID, that string of numbers like I've mentioned, inside of there, click submit, and that would retain all of the post engagement. So hopefully you got some value from this video. So you now have a proven Facebook ads strategy that you can use in 2022. If you want to learn more in-depth strategies like this, then check out my Ecom Beast 2.0 course. The link for that will be down below. If you use the code YouTube100, you'll get $100 off the course. Remember, if you do want to be in with a chance to win that $50, all you got to do is make sure you're following the channel, drop a like on this video, and of course drop a comment down below. Hit me up on Instagram and Twitter, drop me a DM, drop me a like, drop me a comment. We can try and connect on there. But that is it for this video. Hopefully you got some value. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.